Hey, Odie was slow on the get
What's
and
up?
adding himself to the feed. Hey there. Short show today, guys. We got a lot going on. Both of us are busy men. Um, but I was just telling Odie, 2 minutes. This just came out. Elon Musk is saying that he was asked to activate regions of Starlink. Or I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if it's activating or deactivating portions of Starlink, right? And he's saying that the government asked them to activate Starlink all the way to Sevastopol, the obvious intent being to sink most of the Russian fleet at anchor. If I agreed to the request, SpaceX would be explicitly complicit in a major act of war and conflict escalation.
Oh, so this was the Biden administration, I would assume.
Yeah, I believe it's the Biden administration. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, it's a weird. I'm reading one thing that says he covertly instructed his engineers to deactivate the communications network during a major Ukrainian offensive. Elon Musk is saying he didn't do anything. I don't know. This is very confusing. I have to look more into this. I'm just reading it now. I'm sharing information that he's saying he didn't deactivate anything and that they were not activated either. So I don't know what the government was asking him to do and why it would have led to the bombing. I guess because they were going to activate them in order to help with the guidance to be able to bomb the fleet. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing of this, but it seems like, the Ukrainians were depending upon Starlink for a lot of communication.
Right.
And there must have been, some sort of extra communication that needed to be made or some sort of change with the satellites in order to send communication to a certain area, maybe that would allow for this bombing to take place. So I don't know. I just think it's good that, Elon's calling this out. I mean, I'm not sure
well,
who's right or wrong. I mean, this is exactly what the government does. They used Facebook, they used Twitter in the past, and in order to, weaponize in order to achieve whatever kind of goals and propaganda they want to put out there. So I'm glad he's blowing the whistle on it.
Me too, man. It's awesome. But what's going to happen now? Another anti-Semitic hate attack from the Anti-Defamation League against Elon Musk. Always happens. They'll have some other group denounce him. The Black Caucus or the NAACP will come out against Elon Musk now since he dared cross the government in this instance. Well, anyway, like I said, we could jump right into it. I did want to give Matt McKinley. Oh, God.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to give Matt McKinley a shout out because he has been submitting meme wars submissions for quite some time. Of course, Mitch McConnell has been quite the popular face in the memes, and this was one that Matt sent in of Mitch McConnell tripping out on acid when he did his blank out stare.
Marijuana, LSD, psilocybin, DMT.
Just Elon Musk, or not Elon Musk, Mitch McConnell tripping out on LSD. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So I did want to talk for a second here about Lindsey Graham getting himself in a little bit of trouble.
I didn't hear about this. All right, fill me in.
So now the grand jury down in Georgia that indicted like 20 people or something related to the Trump indictments, they now want to indict Lindsey Graham, David Perdue, Kelly Loeffler, who are the Perdue and Loeffler are previous senators. Of course, Lindsey Graham, longtime senator. But my question is this like exciting to Lindsey Graham? The prospect of maybe going to prison? He could finally step out of the closet and step into his reality.
Hopefully. I mean, he does have the perfect voice, and probably, for prison, he's probably got a pretty mouth for prison, right? That little Southern belle, he could. I'm not saying he's going to get traded for a packet of cigarettes, but you could probably trade Lindsey Graham's mouth for a couple cigarettes in prison.
Yeah, not a full packet. That'd be crazy.
No, it's too old for that. Way too old for a full pack. All right. Well, let's see here. I'm going to share a couple memes here. Speaking
It is totally.
of,
I'll just say this: it is totally insane that they are now just going after anybody and every question the results of the election. Totally absurd. Had to say
no, it's insane, man. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Okay, so here we go. This talking about old senators. I will share this meme, and I do wonder, to your point, if they are. I mean, any thinking person can see through what they're trying to do and the weaponization of the Department of Justice. The question is always is, will it matter? Will it matter, where people are going to wake up? I just don't know. All right, so here's one. Speaking of old senators, well, we've got Hillary Clinton. She's lying in bed next to Bill, and it says, her, I bet he's thinking about ratting me out. Him, I bet she's thinking about offing me before I rat her out.
I bet they've had those exact thoughts. That's what makes it so funny.
And maybe that's why they stayed together so long, though, because there's an erotic nature to that relationship of knowing at any point the person you're sleeping next to or in the same house with, maybe at times, I doubt they sleep together, could just easily kill you. And maybe that's what gets them off. Maybe they come together once a year to fuck and think about it like they're Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but far more accomplished assassins.
I don't think they've ever had sex. I think Chelsea was made in a test tube of some sorts, and the whole thing was just for political careers. But
she's got a test tube face. I'll say that.
Yeah,
and intellect.
All right, next meme. It was going around, the video with The Rock and Oprah saying that they were doing so much to help the people in Maui. They did donate some of their own money, but this meme. It's The Rock and Oprah, and it was an awkward video. The whole time The Rock had his hand on Oprah's shoulder. It was very strange. If Oprah and The Rock, a billionaire, multimillionaire, have the guts to ask you for donations for Maui, then you can go ask that girl out. So just a little motivation for you. If Oprah, probably the largest landowner on Maui, instead of opening up some of her land, maybe housing people, no, she has the real... she has the gusto, the guts to go for the big home run hit and ask the people to donate money instead of her, giving up some of what she has. So
what I would have liked better is if Oprah and The Rock had made an announcement that they're like, hey, we're forming a super team, a super celebrity team to find out how this happened, to hold people accountable. That's what I would like to know. We're going after the government. We're going after the sheriff. We're going after the power companies in Maui that have fucked this up. That would be something of interest. Maybe then they'll get some of my money.
And we're bringing in O.J. Simpson to lead the effort.
All right. I got one to share from the Libertarian Party posted this one. It's got the little Monopoly man and, the Monopoly cards that come up. And it says, oh, no, you've been visited by capitalism. In 1 week, you'll have to throw away uneaten food from your fridge to make room for new food. I thought that was a pretty funny one.
Yeah, don't you hate that when having too much food is a problem and people are literally starving? That's
Yep. Yeah.
All right, next one here. All right, we got SpongeBob and Bart Simpson on the left. You got SpongeBob tiptoeing around, being oh so quiet, and it says above that, Democrats talking about Obama's sexuality. You got Bart Simpson with a pot on his head, banging pots and pans together. Democrats talking about children's sexuality.
Yep. Quiet,
that's where we are.
Quiet. If you recall that episode. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's fantastic. All right. Next one from me is, this is posted from an account called 300 Guns. And I think perfect for right now, especially with these asinine mainstream media people talking about the next COVID strain. It's got a picture of two people. It looks like New York City. They're in masks outside walking their dogs. And the caption is, I love seeing dogs herd sheep, to which I say.
That's classic. That's a great meme.
Clap. Yeah. Fucking imbeciles. I'm surprised the dogs don't have masks on.
Yeah, I was happy to see we had our parent-teacher conference for my daughter last night, and did not see a single mask. So that
awesome.
was nice. I was kind of surprised, but It's good to see.
I've not yet. I'll tell you one anecdote real quick from our daycare. There's this one chick that goes to our daycare who I already know. Like my wife and I met her one time, and she was insufferable. Like you could instantly tell, oh, this is one of those people, like one of those awful, idiotic, always complains, brainwashed, imbecile people. And she comes up and my wife's leaving. She's coming and she's like, "Oh, did you miss us?" And she's like, "No, I didn't know it. Where were you?" And she's like, "Oh, we were gone for 10 days because our baby got COVID." Now, number one, what kind of an asshole is testing the baby for COVID anymore, or in the first place? Because it has a 0.0000 chance of doing anything to your baby. And number two, you're holding the kid out for 10 days. What year is this? Did she go back 3 years in time? Because that was the initial, holy crap, we don't know what's going on, time period where you're supposed to stay home for 10 years. I wonder if she locked her baby in a fucking closet like assholes were doing. Remember that? You had to quarantine away from your kid. I mean, this woman, and then she goes, like, she got COVID. She got it here. And it's like, how the fuck do you know she got it here, dummy? What are you talking about? God, this woman.
Because she couldn't have gotten anywhere else because we're so careful. We always wash our hands.
We wash all our groceries.
When we leave the house, we don't even breathe. We don't breathe, Brian. Do you understand that?
We're like the Jacques Cousteaus, but on land. We can hold our breath for 4 minutes.
So speaking of COVID insanity, this is a great meme. Shows through a crowd. You got the COVID-19 ball rolling through a crowd, makes a nice little narrow path. Of course, picks off a couple people. And then you got the government ball, gigantic size, 10 times the size, rolling through, just stampeding, crushing people in the crowd. And that was the government response. And that's what I can't stand when people still do it today, when they refer back to COVID and they'll say, oh, when this was shut down because of COVID, or, schools were shut down because of COVID. No, it wasn't. It was because of the freaking government response. Yep. It was not because of COVID. It wasn't like people couldn't have gone to school and teachers couldn't have taught. No, it was the response. It was the fear mongering.
Fear mongering, exactly. Even when places didn't have to shut down, didn't have to mask, they instead masked up because they were pressured by now social contagion of all the fear porn being pushed by mainstream media and government. Yeah, despicable. I think that's it. Do I have any more?
That's all I got.
All right, that's it. Good. A good tight show today. As I said, it's sometimes they have to be tighter. Like like sometimes, for example, sometimes if you're Barack Obama, you want a tighter, like a thinner white man's penis because you're sick of getting railed by Michelle's big old black python all the time. Makes sense. That's why I had to pick up Larry Sinclair, whatever his name is.
That's a good one to end the show on right there. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. Hit that bell at the top so you get notified. If you hate YouTube, that's okay. Go to Rumble. We're building a big following there, so go subscribe over there. And we'll see you on Monday with another episode of Finding Freedom. See ya.
Bingo, bango. Bye.